Welcome, disc golf fans, to the front nine coverage of the final round of the 2021 Preserve Championship, designed by LaVisca Disc Golf, presented by Prodigy Disc. I'm Brian Earhart, joined here one more time by Nate Perkins. And like we were just talking about, the Chase Card on the Pro Tour is insanely exciting in the final round. You never know what's going to happen. We could very well see a Chase Card champion today.
We absolutely could. We're due for one here on the Gatekeeper media coverage, aren't we, Brian?
We are, and we have a card of players that all have the capability of doing this. Gannon Buhr, James Conrad, Gavin Rathbun, Anthony Barela. What a phenomenal card. Like, absolute bombers. And honestly, these are all players that have the capability of shooting an 18 under par on this very scoreable track.
It's true. You guys can rip the disc. And Sunday, we weren't sure if we were going to play, Brian. And it ended up being the best day. Clear blue skies, no smoke.
Yeah, it was very fortunate that we got to play this final round. It could have taken a turn for the worse. And here's Gannon. And again, I've said this a lot of times. If you watch footage of prime Will Schustrick,
yes,
this is the throw. If you put a black vector over them, you couldn't tell the difference. So smooth.
Not OB.
And the difference between Gannon and Schustrick is really on the putting surface. Gannon has adopted that modern spinny push putt.
He fires them.
Yes.
James Conrad going dimension here. Pretty overstable 14-speed disc.
And I enjoyed James pulling out the 13 and 14 speed discs because when he was with Innova...
Not that many trees on the right.
Yeah.
But James is behind one of them.
Yeah, when he was with Innova, he was really only throwing the Wraith. He was barely throwing a Destroyer, and now he's pulling out a lot bigger discs. Here's Gavin. And Gavin has, as you've probably seen many times this season, huge elite distance and has been pretty hot on the putting surface as well.
Yeah, he's had a great season.
Great season. His peaks are getting very high. Oh.
And this is...
It's crunched.
AB is one of the most exciting players to watch. He's a wild card. And the one thing that you know that you're going to get from AB are shots like that.
Oh,
That are
yeah.
600 feet down the fairway.
James going entropy. There's a bit of a crosswind coming into this green. The flag didn't show it, but it's stiffer than you think.
He's throwing backwards at the... Brian, he's throwing backwards at the basket.
Yeah, he gets to throw a hyzer behind the basket. That's how far he is up the fairway. That's the thing about this hole. The closer you are to the OB, the closer you are to the basket. And there's Gannon with a very simple, solid approach shot. That's going to be a birdie for him to start. Gavin also puts his to a solid spot. Did I just see an Adam Hammis style putt? That little double clutch? Let's pay attention to that the rest of the round.
Hey, they're best buds.
They are best buds, and they've toured a lot together and played a lot together. I'm going to keep an eye on that. Oh, and Gavin misses low left or low right. That is not going to be a birdie for Gavin. Yeah, like you've said earlier, Gannon is one of the most calculated players on tour, and for as young as he is, I think it's very impressive that he doesn't take anything for granted. He's even, pumping the disc on a 10-footer, which to me shows that he's focused and he's very in the moment when it comes to these shots. It's very easy to take some of these shorter ones for granted. Hole number 2. It looks like a flex, but I've seen that the best shots on this hole are very forward-pushing hyzer flips. We watched Kristen Tatar hyzer flip a mid-range dead straight at the basket. The flex looks appealing, but there are a lot of skinny trees off to the right side, so there's not a lot of room for that. Let's see what Gannon goes with here. Rocking the Wander disc golf hat.
I think he's going PA3 right here.
So maybe he is going flat.
Get off that, dude.
What's that skinny tree you were talking about, Brian?
Yeah. It's the flex stopper right there. But looks like he snuck up to circle 2. That's the shot I like on this hole. Little bit of hyzer out of the hand.
Not really worried too much about trying to get back into the left, just finishing off on that right side.
Yeah, almost imagining that the basket is 15 feet right of where it actually is. You don't need to park the basket here. Is this a driver?
I don't know what AB has in his hands.
It looks like a driver.
It couldn't be.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. I think it was. That was beautiful. A little bit long, but I was not expecting that from AB. I was actually expecting the opposite. I was expecting a putter.
We're just in for such a treat. All 4 of these players just have such nice form.
Oh, yeah.
So smooth, and they can bomb, but then they can just down tempo and just pure this gap. Oh, and Gannon did find circle's edge right there.
Just off the right side. Yeah, he really clipped that front left edge of that tree, so it kind of propelled him forward. Here's AB.
He's definitely got that same little rock that he does, where he rocks back onto his front and picks that front foot up off the ground.
Yeah.
But are you seeing something?
He's pushing the disc downwards as well. He used to be very in to out. He's bringing it in and then just clutching it down a little bit. He did miss a little bit left.
Kind of like how Adam
Yeah.
pauses with the face of his disc
Straight
up against
down.
his hip. Yeah.
And James is 2 for 2.
And James, even on those short ones, guys, next time you see that short putt, watch James's back leg. It's still like it's up as high as his head. And that's commitment. It's getting your
Exactly.
legs guaranteed. You're getting your legs involved.
And after Gavin puts in his birdie, Gannon is going to tap into par and move on to hole number 3.
Hole 3, 408, dead straight. There's a little OB sidewalk on the left that can come into play if you get that nose up and hyzer it too much. Elevated pin here. This is right at the distance where some players are in between their mids and fairways.
I think James is going with a...
With the bolt.
Yeah, going with the Volt. He's going to put a little anhyzer, I'm guessing, on this to try to flatten it out. And sit down. And that's what the whole placement is designed for. It's that, you know, making the players land that disc softly and flat. James skipping off to the left side.
He's going to have that 45-footer.
Oh.
I really love the way Gavin grips the disc, though. He just, like, his hands are huge, and he just, like, clamps onto it.
Yeah,
got, like,
he
half
really
the disc in his hand.
manhandles the disc.
Look at Gannon's angle that he's lining up.
Yeah, he's trying to almost throw an anhyzer to the tree line and flatten it. And if that skips back, it's going to be great. Yes, and let's actually see. Let's see this flex shot that he's throwing. You see how he keeps his shoulder blades back when he's throwing this hard anhyzer angle. Yeah, that is so pure. And he's told me, I've played with him at DGOE, and he's talking about his form not even being where he wants it to be. He said he's close, but he still thinks there's work to be done. He's very obsessive about the technique. And AB knows he didn't get it.
Needs to check.
This is a 55-footer from AB.
Looks like he's going right into the headwind.
And he's going to be tapping in a 3 there. Not the easiest putt to hit for birdie. Yeah, and you also see this headwind kind of coming in, so you really don't want to misfire on this one, or else you could be blowing all the way outside circle 1 again, especially with that nose getting up.
Yeah, we saw Macbeth 3-putt this one from the lead card during round 2.
This is stepper range for James. We saw him throw a couple of safe run putts the last time we watched him. Little floatier than his normal trajectory. Let's see if he does something here.
Happened to go from the straddle.
Oh, so good. And that was not a safe run. Let's rewind that.
Gatekeeper rewind.
Perfect.
Fluttering on Annie right at the pole. What a guy.
That man has been making some serious money with that exact putt all season long. Yeah, and you said with Gannon's approach to his putting, you had mentioned to me that he said he doesn't let go of the putter, and he'll keep pumping the disc until he feels 100% confident letting go.
Right. He was speaking to James about that he doesn't have a consistent number of pumps. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 5, and it's all based on when he feels right. Hole 4, you need a huge turnover off the tee. You want to get right in front of that cluster of 3 trees. To have this gap right here, it's only 20 feet across at its skinniest. Very specific landing zone.
It's a tough hole. And this is one of James's favorite shots to throw.
Oh, he burnt it over a
Almost
little bit.
got it. Oh,
and
no.
It went through the wall. That's all safe over there, just a ways away from that gap.
Yeah, and you don't know what kind of angle he even has. He might be throwing a putter to the opening. And we just saw Gannon throw pure Anheuser on the previous hole. The tough part here is you still have to throw a flippier disc, but you're throwing it high enough to where it still has room to pan out to flat. You can't throw just an overstable disc on an Anheuser on this hole.
I do miss watching Will Schusterick play. If you're out there, Will, we love you. We hope Liam is doing well.
He says, what is going on?
Just perfect spot.
Yeah, clearly he was envisioning something else, but luckily he went to a pretty good spot. Gavin also hitting the angle.
Oh, needs to stay on any.
Oh, yeah.
He's got that Heiser approach.
You thought maybe it was going to burn out and start cut rolling like James's, but that had a little bit more stability on it.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with just a little more speed. You can miss it nose up, and it still has the pace to just keep burning over.
Oh, wow. That was so high up in the air. Look at this thing. And he is past the grouping of trees. He actually has like a Heiser skip to the basket. This is driver in the hand of James.
Yeah, he's like 250 to 300 away from the mouth of the gap. He's probably 450 from the pin.
Pulled it right. Sneaks through. Puts him to a position to maybe have a look for birdie, but for sure a 4. Look at this drive from AB.
He's going up top, Brian. Looks like it.
This is not a normal line. These trees are tall. Like, he's got to throw straight up in the air. Oh my gosh.
So wide.
I mean, it came down. I'm not sure if it looked a little low. Yeah, Gannon's putting for birdie. Gavin just in the perfect spot. Right in the edge of circle 1. And he did not throw his drive high enough. Or the second shot high enough. Let's see what he has here. Wow. I believe that was a Firebird he had to chuck on a backwards Anheuser against his body weight. So pretty solid positioning from where he was at.
Thought he was going 4 for 4 for a minute.
Just gunning it. High left. Almost a really solid committed birdie.
Gannon just turned 16.
Wow. Wow.
Did you know what disc golf was when you were 16?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't nearly as good as Gannon,
But you already were getting that
I could chuck
comment forehand down.
I could chuck a mean flex sidearm. That's what I could tell you.
Overstable.
Oh yeah.
Good catch right there.
Yeah, taps in a bogey. Kind of a slow start for AB, but again, this front nine has proven to be way tougher to score on than the back. Still plenty of opportunities for him to make moves, but James is in a great spot. James has started the way you want, obviously.
So this is round 3 of the Preserve. James has not bogeyed since hole 17, round 2 of DGOE. He only had 1 birdie at DGOE, and he has no birdies.
One bogey.
Thank you, Brian. And no bogeys thus far at the Preserve.
I was going to say no birdies. That sounds very grim.
It does sound grim. It's a long weekend.
And the streak continues with a par on hole number 4. And this is one of 4 holes that averaged over par on the day, which is pretty impressive since the wind was pretty heavy and swirling during that final round. And we will see you on number 5.
The Destroyer is essential on tour. One of the most versatile distance drivers in Innova's lineup. The new Halo plastic is probably the prettiest plastic that Innova has in their lineup. It makes for a really cool disc to bag. Very confident in throwing the Destroyer and keeping it in bounds at far ranges.
Here we are, number 5. Again, playing as the toughest hole on this course. And I just find this hole so fascinating because the fairway is straight. The angle to the basket is not anything like we haven't seen before. But there's just some intricate nature to this second shot entering the green that forces an incredibly high-level intuitive shot that you don't really get to rehearse. So throw this one as far as you can. James is going volt here, it looks like.
He's actually speeding it up here on this one, Brian. He's going Tesla.
Oh, a control driver.
And we saw him
faster
yesterday nearly pure it, get that last tree on the left. A little low out of the hand that time, but he's past the first couple gaps.
And there was a really treacherous crosswind blowing through this fairway. It's hard right to left, and it's making that straight shot really tough for the backhand. Gavin rocking the Delwood Disc Golf Polo.
This is FD2. This is a stable disc, but he's going to try and hit it hard enough that it gets that late drift.
And the crosswind shoves it down straight.
Get down.
So he's going to have a forehand to the green, but again, this fairway just subtly bends ever so slightly to the right, and it makes the shot so difficult.
And those reactions off the ground are critical. He could have gotten a little rollout out of that little tree right there. Instead, he's going to have tough footing.
And fighting the crosswind is AB going Destroyer.
Flying.
And while that's good, he might have to throw a Firebird Anheuser through that gap. So specific.
Another 15 feet, and he's perfect, but where he's at, he's got a tough angle.
So yeah, James is going something a little bit more overstable, it looks like. He's going to have to hit this hard, but it can't fade right. It has to push forward once he enters the tunnel. Oh, or you're just going to throw over the top. That's fine. Do whatever you'd like, James. That is huge.
Oh, and see, Gavin is just forced to get this one on the ground.
And the roller is working out for him. That's
Hey,
a great scramble.
Yeah, advancing that far is impressive. That's how the bogeys happen on this hole. That's why it's the most difficult hole in the course, is because if you don't get that second, grenade here.
This is what we want to see.
And look how he's gripping this, guys. He's going in between his fingers, his
Pointer and
like
middle
a clamp.
finger, yeah. Yeah, I've heard there's 2 different grips for the grenade that are most popular, and one of them is the claw grip that...
He's circle 1.
I mean, if you have it, go ahead. That's an incredible shot from AB.
This is like one of... How many birdies on the day, Brian, on hole 5?
All I can say is not many.
We had 6 day 1. Less than 10 day 2. And we're about to see one of them right here going forehand off the tee and then grenade over everything.
I mean, and I can tell you, this hole averaged a 4.6 as a 695-foot par 4. And it consistently averaged it over 3 rounds. A lot of times on a new hole, you'll see players begin to figure out the hole, like James and AB are starting to, but still.
Oh, dude.
There it is. That is almost an eagle. That is taking 1.6 strokes on the field.
Good birdie, dude.
But yeah, there's those 2 grips for the grenade. There's that claw grip where you hold the disc between your pointer finger and your middle finger. And then there's a straight up thumb grip where you're gripping the inside of the rim with your thumb. You're pretty much holding a backhand and then flipping the disc upside down. Either way, it's going to hurt your hand. Not a bad spread of scores there, moving into number 6. 390 feet. Right, today was a left to right crosswind. We saw it previous day with Eagle McMahon throwing the mid-range down the tunnel. Same wind, just enough to make you think.
Similar miss to hole 3, just a little early out of the hand with that T-bird 3.
Oh yeah, there's a volt.
Oh.
Might have a little obstructed putt, but still right on the edge of circle 1. That was a stable disc he threw, and it just got pushed ever so slightly to the right.
That's that FD2 again. It shows you how much speed control Gavin has. He can hit it soft and get it to hyzer out, or... Oh, that thing just kept cruising, Brian.
I mean, it was a good play on the wind, but yeah, just too fast of a disc, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's
Whoa!
go!
That was in the air forever. Gatekeeper rewind. I saw the Hemis.
Yeah.
Face of the disc right there.
Yeah, and he used to not do that. He brought it down and then did a little push and then continued his stroke. Just 2 buds putting the same. Wholesome moment.
We should clip that and send it to Adam. Say, look, your friend Anthony loves you.
Your friend, yes. Well, clearly, after making that 60-footer.
That was in the air forever. I love that putt.
Yeah, James had a bit too obstructed of a putt, unfortunately. And here's Gavin from just outside the circle. And Gavin's putting struggles continue. Just not the best day for him so far. He still has a lot of golf left. Gannon saving the par. That was the longest drive I'd seen on that hole. He overcooked that one way too much.
Yeah.
The National Amateur Disc Golf Tour. Take your first step into competition or your final step into professionalism. Visit nadgt.com for more information.
Hole 7, 11-11. Most players have been going that left side fairway. You need 400 off the tee to have another 400 to 500 foot open hyzer to cross the water. We have seen a couple eagles on this hole.
And I think Anthony kind of wants one of those. That is a large and in charge drive.
That's a good start.
Wow. That's perfect.
550 feet off the tee. That pond and the crosswind kind of limit the players from going full distance shot.
We saw James try the right fairway, and it didn't quite work out for him, so he's making the adjustment, and that's a solid shot.
Yeah, James.
Perfect.
I still haven't tried the grunt for 10% extra power that James has been telling me about for
Oh,
years.
I've been doing it since Little League, Nate.
The grunt?
It works.
Man, I need to get on that.
Next time you go play skee ball at the arcade, give it a try.
Who else grunts?
Not like James.
Yeah.
Gannon with a more conservative play. He knows that a 4 is just fine.
Gannon the Cannon.
Yeah, look at that. That's
Too
a
easy.
understable disc he just ripped on that hyzer. Okay. Didn't even get a full flight, but that's going to be a slower disc into the green for him.
Oh, also burning it over too much. That's what I love about watching disc golf at the Preserve. Is it's just a playground for these bombers. And that's exactly how Caleb Viska intended it. He didn't want there to be a ton of OB. He wanted people to feel free and just throw the disc.
Yeah, and it's obviously working.
And the spectators love it. We have 1,000 spectators in attendance. The Minnesota crowd was phenomenal. You could feel the energy all day.
And this is a 50-50. And he wins the coin toss, sticking on the green. That is an easy birdie for Gannon. Yeah, coming into this slope with that much hyzer is really tough. You have to pay a lot of attention to how it lands. And ideally landing it on the high side if you come in too steep.
Ooh, a little nose up with that pig. Okay.
That's fine, yeah.
Blue and yellow.
Yep.
Yellow fellow. Just a layup, though.
Just a little layup. Tough green to throw the backhand on.
James has all the expectations in the world these days. Every time he has like a 200-foot approach now, people are like on the edge of their seat. Like, is
he
going
gonna throw
to
it in?
happen?
No. You could see he was pinched off by that pipe. James snags the birdie. Moves to 23 under par. He is in solo 5th.
It's only 20 feet, but he's got headwind left to right and putting straight back down the hill. Oh, look how steep that is. That different camera angle really does it justice. Yeah.
Great putt.
It's really easy to pull it off your line.
Oh, yeah.
When you have to putt from a knee like that.
Especially as a spin putter. It's a tricky putt, but getting to the knee, makes it a lot easier. You just have to take a lot of time making sure you have the release point down. And Gannon, textbook birdie, moving into number 8. Iconic hole. 406 over the water. Not the hardest hole in the course, but definitely the most fun to watch. So many close calls that we've seen throughout the week. The fans are all lined up there. There's bleachers, food vendors. This is where a lot of the spectators come to hang out and spend a lot of time at this course. I like this. If it begins to fade, edge of circle 1.
Yeah, he finally hit that T-bird hard. It's on hyzer, but just going straight.
I like this a lot. And I think James likes it. And I think everybody likes it. Park job. Nice and wide. Just give the fans what they want. Just give them an ace.
This one's asking for it.
One of these years, it's going to happen, and it's going to be miraculous. And especially, like you said, 1,000 spectators coming out, sold-out tickets. This also looks good. We had spectators or potential spectators in the parking lot holding up signs hoping someone would scalp their tickets to them. We're going big time.
Yeah, we are, Brian. Disc golf?
Yeah.
In the parking lot.
Yeah.
I need tickets.
Yes.
Kale told me that.
Homemade signs.
He was emotional expressing that to everybody.
Gavin again.
Oh, this front has been tough.
And he's been putting himself in position so much. Gannon cashes the birdie. He's one off James, who's about to tap in another birdie.
I gotta wonder what's going on through Gannon's mind when he hits a putt dead center, nose down like that, and just kind of raises his shoulders like, wow.
He, from what I've noticed playing with him, he visualizes his shots to an obsessive level.
Okay, so he didn't quite hit that putt
Exactly how he
wanted. 14.99. We saw James throw a 650-foot roller yesterday. And we've got AB, Gannon, Gavin, JC. We're going to see some bombs off the tee.
What I found on this hole on the final day, there was a weird air pocket in the middle where we had headwind for the first half of the fairway. Once you got up halfway, it turned into a tailwind, which is very strange. But let's see what James has here. Helicopter follow through. Look at this shot.
Yes.
Thanks. And he is way out there. And this is, again, 650-foot roller could very well come from crossing the halfway point in this fairway.
We should have made some bets on distance off the tee.
Yeah, everybody on this card has the potential to throw huge. Wow.
And that just didn't even get The wing just didn't even turn over, and he still got as far as
He
James
has a
did.
very similar release to Thomas Gilbert, where it comes out of his hand so clean that it's almost silent when he lets go of the disc.
Come on. Come on out. That tree is at 550. That was like roughly 590 right there. Not quite getting enough hyzer.
Ooh, Gavin going hyzer flip. And that's going to be safe. But that is huge. Let's jump back to Gavin's throw, actually. Gavin's footwork is wonderful. His positioning is wonderful. Look at that 90-degree angle he creates. His extension is like picture perfect. A lot of players have a little swing upwards, like you think about Matteo, Ricky. His is just completely linear. I love Gavin's throw. Here we go.
Photon roller.
So caught the headwind, and now there is going to be some wind helping him, but
Stand up.
no, he did not get it to stand up, but still.
He's going to be about 550 from the pin right there. That second tree is right at 500.
That looks good.
It's huge.
He's going to be able to come into the green from there. Got a little flip. Now it's going to get helped. Also good. They're all going to have some really long shots to this green, though, if they want to get the birdie. And finally, we get to AB's drive.
Forced to go standstill.
Wow.
What?
Pulling out the Corey Ellis on that one. Huge standstill drive. He's going to have, still 480 to the pin.
He's sending it from 550 feet away.
That's got to come out.
Oh, and it's just over the creek. And scoots up to just right outside circle 2. Just to attempt that shot. That creek is out of bounds. Even Gannon says, no,
Just give me the par.
I don't want that, James.
Yeah, this averaged a 5.54 on the day.
No.
Nope. Come on. He knew it right out of his hand. And he's safe.
I didn't see the out of bounds.
And here's going to be a long run at this green. Oh!
Please.
He said, please, hurry.
Just hits the downslope.
Circle 1 right there. I like... Oh, he's going jump putt. That's a valuable skill.
Oh, yeah, the 200, 150-foot, 200-foot jump putt. That is a very valuable skill. That can shrink courses.
All right, James Conrad from 70 feet.
No way! James Conrad! Let's go! Give us that rewind. Again, perfect trajectory. Little nose up anhyzer, and it's just going to flatten nicely. That was going to be maybe 10 feet past the basket if he missed. Perfect speed. Fans love it.
And James, 2 down on this monstrous par 5 over the weekend. He was 550 feet away, and he went for it and got the bird, Brian.
To me, James is almost like a reverse of Double G. Like, he's known for being a power player, but then Double G can throw a sonic like 300 feet with touch. James is known for being this sick technical putter thrower, but his distance is like easily up there with everybody else. Just showing you the all-around chops that he has.
He shot 6 on the front. That's really dirty on the front. The back 9 gets a little bit easier.
That's off to the races for James Conrad. He has an opportunity to make a push for potentially the win if he really puts it together. 6 under par in the front, clean. Hasn't bogeyed in 4 rounds. Eagle McMahon, Paul Macbeth, and Ricky Wysocki, a classic battle happening at the top of the leaderboard right now. Let's see if James can catch up to them here. Make sure to subscribe to Gatekeeper Media on YouTube. Again, I'm Brian Earhart. He is Nate Perkins. We will catch you for the final 9 holes of this event.